What's up, everybody? You guys are tuned in to the GM Transport Podcast. I am your host, Manuel, and here is my co-host, Gabby. Tell them what's up, everyone.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, you guys. Today we got an important subject. It's called a financial broken mentality. And what that means is, I think, from my perspective, it stems from a history of these victim type mentality mindsets that people have when it comes to having certain financial responsibility in their lives. For me, I've learned a lot within the last 2 years, but fill them in, partner.
Broke mentality comes from, unfortunately, if you're not born into a rich family, it comes from our families. I think, first of all, let me kind of like go back to the things that I have learned. If you are born into a privileged family, if you are born into a rich family, then more than likely you're going to grow up surrounded by people with a lot of goals, ambition, and wealth. So having that we're not born into rich families and we're not born into privileged lives, we're taught whatever our parents know. And this is not to disrespect our families, because they did the best they could. You know, my mom and my dad did the best they could with me, but my mom and my dad are not rich and they're not wealthy, and I'm not privileged. And I was raised by a school, and I say raised because we go to school most of our lives, you know, until you're into college. So we were taught the fundamentals, which a lot of the things that we are taught in school are a bunch of baloney. And we all know that, because even when you're in school, even during class, you're thinking, when the hell am I ever going to use this? You know,
How is this benefiting me?
Exactly. And I remember saying this when I was a teenager, like, are we ever going to use this, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so? Because we know that we never had our family. My mom's never used algebra at the grocery market. My dad's never used chemistry. You know what I'm saying? So unless you're going to school to be a physician or, something to... I think the school system is broken, and it's not I don't think it's a conspiracy. Our system is broken. It teaches us only what they... And you could use the word they to whoever you want to use it on, because I'm not going to get into that type of detail. But they teach us only what we are allowed to learn. So a broke mentality to me is not knowing how to spend your money, not knowing how to retain your money, not knowing how to invest your money. I remember growing up thinking, I want to have all this money because I want to spend it. I want to buy this and I want to buy that. I want to buy shoes and clothes, and I want to buy the newest car, convertible, whatever my desires were at that time. And then once I got married and I had my own family, honestly, my biggest accomplishment was owning my own house. And of course, that's an accomplishment, but I have really nothing to show for all of these years. At almost 40 years of age, I don't have investment properties. I don't have money in Wall Street. I don't have investments, stocks, bonds, mutual funds. I don't know any of this until now that I have the desire to learn. How the hell am I going to survive when I'm an older lady? And it's not too late to start, but I've killed 40 years of my life not knowing how to manage money. And I think it's unfortunate that a lot of people out there can relate to this, and if they're honest to themselves, they will admit that they are also suffering from a broke mentality. And this has nothing to do with mental strength. We're talking about financial broke mentality. Illiteracy, financial illiteracy. And I think that it is a tragedy. And if you want to learn, it is your responsibility because ain't nobody going to show you. And now at the age that I'm at, I feel very behind. I feel like now I'm in school, but I'm learning how to read. So I feel so far behind, but it's not too late. I know I've wasted 40 years of my life not doing crap with my money. And I want to change, and I want to change fast, and I want to change badly. So I'm taking the matters into my own hands to learn and to be financial literate, because obviously our parents didn't know any better, and our school systems didn't want to teach it.
Well, that's good that you're nipping it in the bud right now, honestly, partner, because it's never too late to learn. I'm glad I'm catching these moments in my point of life right now. And honestly, I think way differently than what I did 5 years ago. I don't see money the way that I did when I was in a system where I had to have the newest and greatest shit.
Yep.
And let that be said, I know I've never been a flashy type of person. I've never been a person that needs to have the latest and greatest. You know, I do have a reliable car, and that's something that I wish that I knew back then. Not to how can I say this? Not to force myself or implement myself to buying this thing that I really don't need. If we all look back at what's making us money versus what's not, these are the tweaks and the minor things that we need to start addressing as kids, as young adults, so that we don't make these same mistakes as we're older. We need to get out of this system. We need to understand that not everything that involves us to look great has the potential to spend all our money. We have to break out of the system. And honestly, I'm glad that I'm addressing these things now, because I can show my kids, I can show the people that I really care about how to invest your money, how to save up for rainy days, how to actually not feel bad about your financial situation when you're an older adult. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm able to address these things now, and I'm making a change. It may not show for it, but
Hey, it's not going to show for it right away.
Right, exactly, you guys. These are the things that it takes time. You know, you don't cut down a tree within seconds. You know, it takes chipping away, and eventually, you know, along with these right type of financial decisions, guess what happens? You know, your credit score starts to boom. You're able to buy things that matter. Yeah, exactly. Which are your assets. What's going to make you money in the long run instead of you chasing it?
You know, and I really recommend my partner and I here. We're reading. Well, I say we because you know we do it together. We like to brainstorm and talk about the books that we read. We're reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I really highly recommend this book. It's opened up my eyes to a whole new chapter or a whole new viewpoint on financial status. And and like I said, I love my mom and my dad. They've done the best they could with me, but my family is not wealthy, and so therefore they're only going to give me the advice that they know. And I want to break that financial. It's not a curse, but it's like a what is it called? A chain.
It's like history.
It's like history is repeating itself, and I want to break that broke financial mentality chain. I've been talking to my sons lately about this. I've been being very open with them. I tell them the things that I've learned. I tell them the things that I hope they change. I tell them, if I had my parents telling me at a very young age And partner, we talked about this just a little earlier today. We talked about your kids, and I said, dude, your kids are little. You could still mold them. A lot of people are going to be like, really? Why are you going to teach a 5-year-old? Dude, we watched a documentary on the founding fathers of America, the founding entrepreneurs, you know, the Rothschild, Vanderbilt, J.P. Morgan. Their fathers used to teach them finances like at age 5. Today, right now, people will laugh at you like, your daughter don't need to know that. Of course they do. It's not that you're going to sit there and torment them and torture them with knowledge that they don't understand, but you could teach them little by little. Save your money, you know, this and that, like don't spend it on things. Like you could start embedding these ideas in their head. How is it that we learned from our parents? They taught us at a young age how to be. And so we're only repeating what our parents taught us. But, you know, you reach a point in your life, I have.
You're tired of the shit.
You're tired of the shit that you're living. You're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, which is hence why we have a business now, because we're hoping for change. We're hoping for prosperity. We're hoping for wealth. And you know, you reach a point where you're tired. You're tired of living paycheck to paycheck. You're tired of clocking in and clocking out and being told when and where you could take your lunch and, you know, reporting to somebody. You want change, and I want change, and I'm seeking change. And I want to be able to be a very independent person, you know? Forget about the whole independent woman. I want to be an independent person so that when I'm older, I can rely on myself, not a man and not the system. I can rely on myself. And if every parent out there thought this way, our middle class would be thriving, because the middle class is the backbone of America. We're like the slaves of America. We work and work and work and pay taxes, and we never ever get to see that money, because it's a cycle. We get up and work and pay bills, get up and work and pay taxes, get up and work. It's like we're in the rat race. Meanwhile, the poor get all the money because they get the free healthcare, they get the free schooling, they get the free this and free that, they get the free food. They don't gotta really do anything much. And I'm not saying, you know, sometimes it's like I come off as like, oh, what are you trying to say? You know, it is what it is. Everybody chooses their life. Everybody chooses their path and their fate. Because if you didn't like a situation like I'm changing it. I'm trying to educate myself, and I'm trying to learn, and I'm open-minded to new opinions and suggestions, which is why we started the business network, you know. But ultimately, guys, I think the broke mentality is not just with me, not just with you, partner. I think it is across millions of families. That's why they call them the 1%ers, because the rich will always stay rich.
Speaking of that, what really cringes me is, you know, when I go out with certain people, or, you know, I happen to get the bill, and, you know, I see someone looking over my shoulder. Oh, that's not a problem for you. You can pay that right away, this and that. You know, I probably can, and more than likely I will. But the thing is that people don't understand how hard I worked for that.
Yep.
People don't understand how hard it is for me to hold that money. You know, it's not just, and I understand my dad. My dad's a businessman as well. I mean, he didn't really teach me much as financial stability and financial goals and stuff like that. But I'm starting to see on the inside of what my dad has been through, and it cringes me, man. I cringe when people tell me like, oh yeah, you know, that's not a problem for you. You could pay for that without a big deal. Of course I can,
like,
but
how do they know?
But exactly, like, are you there grinding with me? Do you understand what it takes for me to obtain this dollar?
Yep.
Like it's not just yeah, you know, putting your thing out on the table and saying, hey, you know, we're all gonna have a good time because of this. it doesn't work that way, guys. And if I can tell people, the hard work earned money and how hard it is for people to obtain it and to actually keep it, that's a whole different goal, man. And if it's pouring out of your ears, good for you, man. I mean, that's my type of goal.
Yep.
I don't know what kind of goal you guys are after, but those are my type of goals. And I know that I'll get there if I start making these baby steps. And I've been making the baby steps for the last 2 years. It's just now it's even more fortified. Now it's even, okay, I have to go out there and get this and keep it. It's one thing earning money and keeping it. It's another thing earning it and spending it.
And another thing earning it and investing it.
That's right. Investments, they're a good key for you guys to learn what it takes to be in business. And I'm willing to invest everything that I got for my better future, for my kids' better future, for your future partner. Like, this is all I know now, and this is all what I'm going to go in for.
Yeah, and I tell you that I get very frustrated with my younger self. I get so frustrated. I don't sit here and dwell about the past. I'm not that kind of person. But it does anger you when you think about how dumb and naive you were. And back in my day, back in my 20s, I was making a lot of money. When obviously the combined incomes I'm referring to. My ex-husband and I together were making damn good money. We didn't do shit with it. Like, we would go to Vegas and blow it. I mean, just speaking about it gets me angry, because there was a lot of money that came through my fingers and it just slipped away, other than our primary residence. But fast forward to right now, I hope that people really relate to this message, because honestly, we speak from the heart always, and we're always very honest. And I think a lot of people out there, this country would be such a better place if the middle class were to invest and exactly flip the financial script, get financially educated, and start investing in properties, start renting them out, buying assets. Assets is what makes you money. Liability is what is spending money on things that, like, for instance, a car. That's a liability. And I'm gonna go back to in my 20s. I always had the new car. I had the quads, the jet skis, and I really thought that was life. I thought, oh yeah, look at me. I'm rolling, I'm making good money. I got my house, I got the car, I got the quads, I got the trailer. All of that bullshit was nothing but liability. I'm over here living a lifestyle, living paycheck to paycheck, but I had the quads. It makes no sense. Now it doesn't make any sense. People with the broke mentality are going to listen to me speak and say, wait, that's a sign of success. No, that's a sign that you're making money, but you're spending it on BS, because it's not preparing you. A jet ski and a quad is not preparing you for retirement, if that makes sense. And my mentality now is now I get frustrated. Now I get frustrated because I'm like, holy crap, man. I wish I could do this and I wish I could do that. But the lack of money right now is holding me bound. But like you said earlier, partner, it's just a matter of time. I just hope that people get this message and understand it. And if you don't understand it, that's okay. Get educated on be financial literate. And to be honest, I'm a beginner. I think if financial literacy was a school, I'm like in the 1st to 2nd grade right now. And I'm proud to say that, because, hey, at least I'm doing something to educate myself.
Hey, we might be beginners, but we're going to be in the front row seating, learning everything that we can.
Yeah, man. Education is free. People don't have to pay for college. They don't. And people think, oh, I don't have time. If you don't like to read, there's there's books that you can, the audio books. If you don't like to go to school, do your own research on your own time, on your own, your own schedule. There is no excuse to learn. There is no excuse. People who think they know it all, they don't know crap. I don't know it. Shit, I'm barely scratching the surface about certain subjects. Financial literacy is on the top of my list. How to be a successful entrepreneur, how to run a proper business, and how to be financially stable. Those are my priorities, and I hope everybody has priorities to the highest level, because that's why we are where we're at. That's why the rich stay rich and they get richer, and the poor stay poor. And that's why the middle class will always be the backbone. We're the rats. We're the rats in that tumble thing, that little tunnel thingy. We are the rats of America. We keep it running because the wheel is always spinning like little mice. We need to break out of those chains. And I wish financial wealth and prosperity upon everybody. I know that I'm seeking it, and I know that I'm trying to get there, but it's difficult. It doesn't come, like you said, you can't just chop down a tree with one axe, thrust. You got to keep working at it. And honestly, I'm willing to get there, because time will pass you by anyway. So if it's going to take me 10 years to learn, and if I have that mentality like, oh my gosh, it's going to take me 10 years. You know what? 10 years are going to pass you by whether you do something or not. You might as well use your time efficiently and use your time on something that's going to make you a better person. And forget about you. Something that's going to leave a better life for your kids or your grandkids. So a lot of it is self-work. And I know that I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to break this broke-ass mentality that I have.
Well said. I have a question for you guys, and I really want you guys to actually answer honestly. If you make, let's just say, $6,000 in 1 month, what would you spend those $6,000 on?
Yep.
I know what I would do, and I have flipped my script. And I mean, I can't speak for you guys, but there is a key method on how to do this. Obviously everybody has bills. You spend a portion of that on bills. The rest, on my behalf, I would invest. I wouldn't spend it on casinos. I wouldn't go and get myself the newest freaking clothes out there. I wouldn't go get myself the newest shoes. Like, all that stuff is done. It's old.
Yep.
All that stuff can wait. I need to start thinking about, like you say, partner, I need to start thinking about my kids' futures. I need to start thinking about my grandkids' futures.
Yep. And your own future.
And myself, and it doesn't come easily obtained, you guys. These $6,000 that you work hard for on a monthly basis, it's time to start thinking long term instead of short term.
Yep.
All that other shit can wait, you guys. We really want to help you guys in the long run. We don't, we may sound like nagging parents, but I wish my parents would teach me this.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So hopefully, we can do this. We can do this on an educational type of viewpoint, and start writing down your financial goals. Start writing down the things that are gonna make you succeed in life. It doesn't come easy, once again. So it's either you knuckle up and you shut up now and you get it done, or you let people tell you what to do.
Yep.
Buy the newest couch. It's very comfortable. All right. And so is my toilet seat. You guys need to start thinking a little bit more logically, and I for one am thinking more logically, and I'm starting to invest in things that I've never thought of before. So you want to close it out, partner?
Yes, absolutely. If you guys have been keeping up with our podcast, we recently had a podcast about cutting people out that don't benefit your life. This right here is a great example. I care about you. And I care about your success because I consider myself to be your best friend, and I consider myself to be a good friend. And so when you surround yourself with people who are actually for you, not against you, I'm always going to say, partner, you know what? I don't think you should spend on money. It's your money. Ultimately, it's your money. It's your life.
Right.
But I'm always going to try to watch for you. Like, for instance, even when you and I like to just chill. Sometimes we used to go hit a bar. We used to go, hey, let's go eat some dinner or whatever. But now it's like, nah, you know what, dude? Fuck that. Let's just go buy a 6-pack and chill at the office. Or let's go chill with our families. Or instead of going to dinner, let's go throw a barbecue at somebody's house or whatever, Surround yourself with people who are actually going to invest in you instead of wasting your time, wasting your money, because we all know those friends. Oh, fuck it, just buy it. Oh, YOLO. just buy the shoes. Fuck it, you know what? Let's go out drinking all night. It's, you know what? It's all fun. All of that is fun. But like you said, those are all short-lived, short-term happiness. We're looking for long-term success here. And so because I care about you, because I care about my family, and because I ultimately love my boys, I am trying to have them understand exactly what we're trying to help other people do. I want success for you, and I want success for the people that I love. So surround yourself with people, and this is like I said, this goes back to the podcast that we recently posted about surrounding yourself or cutting people out of your lives. This is exactly why, guys, because people you surround yourself with affect you on a daily basis. If you kick it with losers, you're gonna be a loser. Even though you say, no, I'm a strong person. They'll never brainwash me like that, or they'll never influence me like that. Trust me.
Hey, brainwashing has been going on for the last 2 years.
Yes. So surround yourself with winners. Surround yourself with people who know more than you. Surround yourself with people with I bet you anything, I guarantee you surround yourself with a person who is so ambitious and goal driven, not gold. Not, but you know what I'm saying? They're gonna impact your life, and you're gonna be like, damn, I need to level up, because shit, you're gonna kind of feel behind. Those are the people who challenge you. And I'd like to close this out by saying thank you again, everybody who supports our podcast. Thank you for those people who support us on a daily basis, our families, our closest friends. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And thank you for those who believed in us and keep believing in us. And thank you for those who don't, because those who don't just add more fuel. They add more fire and coal to our fire. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you guys tune in, and I hope you guys enjoy our conversations. If you guys ever have any topics you'd like for us to discuss, you can email us at, I think it's GM info. Wait, hold up. I don't want to give you guys the wrong. But if you guys ever have any topics that you guys want to discuss, we'll be more than happy to discuss it on our podcast. And so you can email us at, and sorry, I don't know this one by memory.
gm.info.
Oh yeah, it's gm.info20@gmail.com. But that's all I got to say.
Like my partner said, thank you guys for tuning in. We have a lot of topics for you guys to tune into. We are approaching our destination within the next 2 minutes, but I'd like to close this out with saying that you guys are the average of the 5 people you guys hang around with. So take that in consideration. You're not going to kick it with mutts and expect to be super dog. So keep at it, you guys. Keep chipping away at that log that you guys are trying to split open.
Yep.
Peace out.